Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with just some political stuff and some headlines we got to go through. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check us out on BitChute and Rumble. BitChute and Rumble, Joan. We're both on there too. You okay? You're sleeping. I'm sorry. Also, support the channel. Check out my books. Wokeness, a novel. Hollywoke, another novel. If you like political satire, and of course the Pineys, South Jersey horror comedy, 5 books. I just got the cover for number 6. It looks fantastic. More to come soon. All right. So House Democrats reveal bill to remove Marjorie Taylor Greene from committees. Boy, they're going after her. And this goes back to what Sargon of Akkad said today or yesterday on his crossover with Rakita Law. The Republicans got to start standing up. They got to start toughening up. They have to run defense for her. Yeah, okay, maybe Marjorie said some things you don't totally agree with, but she's in your party, man. You got to protect her. You got to protect your flank. They're going after all of you. They're not going to stop at her. If they successfully go after one of you, they won't stop. They will not stop. They will be encouraged. Ooh, we got rid of Marjorie Greene. Who else we got on the list? That's the way they think. You guys can't just stand idly by and let her get hammered. You have to protect your flank. She is one of your outliers, for sure. But listen to what they're doing. House Democrats Monday unveiled legislation to remove Georgia Republican Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene from the House Budget and Education Committees as they pressure Republicans to rebuke Georgia Congresswoman over past statements, the New York Post reports. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, the number 2 House Democrat, is planning to deliver an ultimatum to House Republican Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy on Greene this week, according to CNN. Hoyer is expected to tell McCarthy that Republicans have 72 hours to unilaterally strip Greene of her committee assignments, or Democrats will bring the issue to the House floor. Let them bring it to the House floor, because look at who's bringing it up. The legislation is sponsored by former Democratic National Committee Chairwoman Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Yeah, you know her. She was the one who was involved in Hillary's campaign and had to be fired. Yeah, former Democratic National Committee chairwoman for a reason. You don't get more dishonest, in my view, than Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And you're going to let her lecture you? She should be the one removed. And what about, what's his face? Oh, God. I forgot his name already. The guy who slept with the Chinese spy. Swalwell. Swalwell hasn't been stripped of anything. He's been promoted. You guys are just sitting there. You're going to let him strip one of yours? Of committee assignments? No. The pressure from Democrats came just hours before Republican Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell called Taylor Greene's embrace of conspiracy theories loony lies and a cancer for the Republican Party. Well, he's no help, but don't the rest of you do it. Just ignore them. Let the Democrats come after you. Fight them. Fight them tooth and nail on this issue. Show them that you won't bend. Not when it comes to one of your own. If you lose the vote and she's forced off of some committees, let it be because they did it. They forced that. They bullied you. Let the U.S. public see that. Because even if you make a valiant effort and lose, people will respect that. They'll say, well, they tried to protect her. Let them blast you in the press. They're going to do that anyway. They've been doing it forever. When have they stopped? At what point will they stop? No point. Don't give her up. Karl Rove, I've known about John Weaver's pattern of behavior since 1988. This is the Lincoln Project guy. And this is what the neocons are into, apparently. So, Republicans, you could stop defending the neocons because these guys aren't really part of your party anyway. They never were. They never were conservative. They never were interested in acting conservative. They came from, they were Trotskyites. They were on the left. And they only joined up because of the power. Now that the power's gone, they've all left. They're all Democrats again. Don't let these guys back in. Female athlete speaks out against new Biden executive order on gender identity. Idaho college runner say it's frustrating to compete against biological males. Well, yeah, because they're going to win. And I just saw a video. Apparently, an ex-NBA star has announced that she's trans, and they showed her running against biological women, and man, she just took off and smoked them. It's unfair. It's obviously unfair. You are idiots for pushing this. Biden, if anything is going to look bad optically, it's this topic right here. You're losing the female vote. You're going to get killed over this. And good. I hope you guys get killed at the polls. I hope your female voters leave you in droves. And they should, because you've gone nuts. And this is proof that the Democrats have embraced nutty ideology that's far out in the fringe. There's absolutely no reason we can't have a trans athlete league for trans people, because sports is a biological function. You do physical things with your body in order to compete in sports. It's no way around getting how people were born. They were born with certain characteristics. I can't get too deep in this because YouTube's paranoid about this too, but you know what I mean. You can't do this. And the whole point of a transition is to transition to another sex. That's the point. To erase the distinction between the genders means there is no transition. There are no trans people. Why are you erasing trans people, Joe Biden? Chaos in the White House as Biden administration officials argue over whether to call Myanmar military takeover a coup over fears they will anger China and be forced to withdraw foreign aid. And this is coming from the Daily Mail. These guys are normally kind of in Biden's camp. I have no doubt there's chaos in the White House every day as Joe Biden stumbles his way through it, trying to figure out where he is and remember that he's the president and not the vice president. It must be a nightmare dealing with him. Must be an absolute nightmare. Is he going to be lucid today? God, I hope the president has his brain is functioning. Yeah, I mean, anger China. I don't think China can be angered by Joe Biden. He's their boy. He invited us to accuse Capitol rioters, blame Trump in the novel legal defense. Good luck with that. You guys might as well not even bother throwing Trump under the bus. They're throwing you under the bus. And they, I mean the legal system. The Democrats have institutional power, and they are going to use it. They're going to throw you guys in prison. Throwing Trump under won't help you. Won't help you in one bit. So, you know, you can try to blame the president, and they want the president blamed, but ain't going to help you. Ain't going to help. And it's not a very good tactic. You guys went and you know, trespassed on Capitol Hill. I think the best defense is to just, you know, go with, I was invited in. You know, unless you were stupid enough to bash in a window, in which case you really don't have much of a defense here. you damaged important public property, and you were probably on videotape doing it. You shouldn't have done that. America Last, Joe Biden to open special COVID vaccination sites for illegal aliens. This is a Gateway pundit, so I'm sure this is slightly exaggerated. The Daily Wire reported DHS also asserts U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and U.S. Customs and Border Protection will not conduct enforcement operations at or near vaccine distribution sites or clinics. ICE does not and will not carry out enforcement operations at or near healthcare facilities such as hospitals, doctor's office, accredited health clinics, and emergent or urgent care facilities, except in the most extraordinary circumstances. Well, it doesn't matter because Biden pulled you guys back anyway. There's a freeze on even doing anything. But this is also going to look very, very bad if you've opened up clinics to inoculate the incoming immigrants, but still haven't inoculated your own citizens yet. I mean, that just looks really, really bad. But can't say it wasn't coming. Biden is just so foolish. It's an executive order he didn't even need to sign, right? He could have said, well, we have to have a comprehensive thing about immigration. We have to argue about it in Congress, and then dump it on Congress and let them argue it for weeks. Meanwhile, you could bask in the secure border that Trump set up for you. You wouldn't even have to deal with this. And then if anybody asks, well, why haven't you done anything yet? Say, well, we need to let Congress argue it. Instead, he signs these executive orders like they're going out of style. And this woman, the Circle woman, report shows Biden staff pre-screening Psaki press briefings and questions. Or briefing questions. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But so what? She's not going to get any better at answering them. She seems pretty overwhelmed at this job. She already is starting to show age in her face. First couple of days, like, oh, this is a young, fresh face. Let's see how she does. And within a week or two, she just looks like she's lost it. Probably because Biden's not giving her much of a direction. You could see Trump. He demanded excellence. He demanded the best. And he got the best. I mean, his last press secretary was amazing. She was just amazing. She's like Joe. She's kind of bumbling, saying a few woke things and kind of expecting like thunderous applause. And then when it doesn't happen, she kind of has nowhere to go. Janet Yellen's a woman. And no one says anything, and it's just like, no one cares. So it's like reality. It's like watching reality hit an SJW in the face. She looks like a deer in the headlights. This is something I want to just tell you about. WokeLeaks.net has opened, and it's Paul Joseph Watson has a video about it today. It's going to be the WikiLeaks for Hollywood and all the wokeness. So definitely bookmark this. It's called WokeLeaks.net. And according to Paul Joseph Watson, the guy running it is in the industry pretty high up, and he's spoken to him. So I'm pretty excited to see what comes out on WokeLeaks. And finally, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, who may be the guy to put in the presidency, announces big tech crackdown after they censored Trump. Untold number of Americans. The crackdown includes a mandatory opt-out from content filters and huge fines levied per day for the censorship of political candidates. Good for you, DeSantis. Good for you. And this is coming from a libertarian. I don't normally like regulation, but these social media companies have to be brought under heel. They're out of control. I don't know if this is the answer, but at least he's doing something. DeSantis has announced a massive crackdown on big tech censorship. So perhaps this will be the model that other states adopt. Some of the new regulations include mandatory opt-out from content filters created by big tech companies, which can leave users shadow banned without the need for full platform removal, a right of action for all Floridians against big tech companies who violated this, and a number of daily fines related to Interference in elections, including 100,000 daily fine levied for any company that suspends political candidates. Now, unfortunately, because of the situation that we're currently in, Democrats, there are lots of laws they just ignore, and when they crack down on conservatives, they just ignore it. But when you crack down on people the Democrats like, oh, suddenly the laws are enforced. So this may blow up in our faces. Maybe this isn't the right right formula, but I mean that the guy cares at all is good. And so I mean this is on the National File. You can read the whole article, but that mandatory opt out of content filters, that could be really good, I think. Attorney General empowered to prosecute the company's private right of action. I'm not sure about that, but it sounds good. It sounds good. Seems like he's concerned. Here he is giving a big press conference, which I haven't watched yet. So yeah, DeSantis, and Trump's down in Florida too. So perhaps he's working with Trump. I don't know. Definitely a guy we need in our corner. Definitely a guy who's doing something. Hopefully the other red states will adopt this, and maybe eventually the rest of the states will. Maybe once you get enough of these guys, they will force the tech companies to go, well, we'll just do it for all the states then. It'll just be easier for them. So we just, I mean, the nightmare scenario would be, they've got free internet in Florida and Texas and all the red states. But you come to a blue state, the internet's heavily regulated and censored. But that may be the model we're headed towards because, eventually as it gets more sophisticated, that seems possible. Anyhow, that's the headlines. That's politics for today. If I miss anything else, I'll have to get it tomorrow. Joan and I will see you in the next video.